So with that experience behind you, were you all fired up and ready for a fight when you went to the onsen?
Are you kidding? We didn't go there to fight. It's an onsen. We went there to take a bath. A lot of people have this impression that we just went there to, you know, miles and miles out of our way to go and cause trouble. Sorry, no. All we did was with our families, friends, and a Doshin reporter who happened to be one of our friends who had heard that this had been happening to other people, went there to take a bath and show them that, you know, we went as a family. You know, if you're having a sign up that says Japanese only, you're going to be refusing people that are members of this society. Well, not only did they refuse me, Olaf and other people that were in our group as well, they made it clear that they refused one of my daughters. I have two daughters. One of them looks a little bit more Western than the other. And so on the basis of just face, they said, well, look, you know, just because this person looks more like her daddy than her mommy, we're going to refuse her. And, you know, we said, no, you can't be doing this sort of thing because there's lots of international marriages right now. And the more you do this, the more likely you're going to refuse Japanese as well, too. So stop it. Well, they refused to stop it. And so we decided to take them to court after 15 months of negotiation. We spent a lot of time negotiating not only with that onsen, but there were other places too, other onsen in Otaru that were refusing people. We managed to get the science down every place else, except for this one place that wouldn't budge a single inch, so we had no choice but to take them to court and say where the cards fell. Well, we also took the Otaru city government to court too, because they did nothing to resolve this issue, really, nothing effective. And the conclusion of the case was we won against the onsen and lower and high court, in other words, district and high. And that's where it stopped. We lost against the city in district, high, and supreme, saying that they were not really they're not really bound by international treaty to they are, but they aren't. They did their best to basically work backwards from a conclusion to say, well, you see, if we force a local government to pass a law against racial discrimination, we would be acting outside of our boundaries as the judicial branch. And so we cannot tell the legislative branch what to do. Even though a few years later they did precisely that with some local governments that weren't passing enough measures to make sure that absentee voters overseas were getting their voting rights respected for local elections. And so they said, okay, either you pass a law against this at the local level. So they acted like they legislated from the bench back then. Why not here? Convenience. It was a matter of we're not going to say this is, it might be racial discrimination, but it's not against the treaty. Just take our word for it, sort of thing. It was a very flawed ruling, and the Supreme Court said, well, get out of our courtroom. So, you know, it was a case to show, you see, that even if people say, well, if you have a problem, then take it to court. We don't need laws against this because we have an active judiciary, to show that the judiciary will not protect you even then. It's a sham. The point is that if you see something wrong, do something about it. Even if you fail at it, even if nothing happens, you still did something. But if you don't do anything, nothing will happen. And a lot of people that just take it on the chin. You were talking today about your experience in a barber shop that refused you for no other reason but, you know, gai gokujima chotto. That's not allowed in other countries where racial discrimination is illegal. Unfortunately, in Japan, it's not illegal, so people can get away with that. And what you can do about it, you can take it before local authorities, particularly the Bureau of Human Rights, in Japanese, Jinken Yogobu, and say this happened to be on such and such a date, and they'll investigate it. And they'll investigate it. That's the best I can say. Right. They are not a punitive organization. They just sort of wag their finger and say you really ought not to be doing that. Right. But you've got to do something. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I must admit I was absolutely shocked by having that experience here in central Tokyo, of all places, where, you know, there's a lot of foreigners in the area where I live, and to be asked to leave because I'm a foreigner, I thought was absolutely outrageous. Yes, and I mean, how much hair is there to cut?
Well, I mean, yeah, exactly.
I mean, I don't mean the baldness. I mean, does he have it naturally short anyway? Him cutting my hair might be more of a challenge. Yes. I might actually want something styled as opposed to just everything, you know, 3 or 4 millimeters from the sculpt, right?
Exactly. I wasn't asking for some incredible beehive.
Yes.